Hi, this is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and I'm going to be starting doing a little something different now. I'm going to be just asking trees things and see what happens, and I'm going to use my deck here. So, okay, deck. All right. Not even sure what I want to ask at the moment. What do people need to have their attention on? How about that? What do people need to have their attention on in this country or anywhere, really? So, all right, we got Magnolia. Okay, Magnolia is beauty. Okay, so Magnolia thinks that we need to have our attention on beauty. Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is nature, and nature in all its aspects is very beautiful, and not just standard, gee, isn't that beautiful type thing, but just the beauty and the awe of it and the extraordinary power and grandeur. Think of the Grand Canyon or any of these canyons. Or there's a guy who has a site on Blue Sky. His name is Man Solo, or his handle is Man Solo. And he walks, I don't think he walks on, he must drive to, but he goes around New Mexico. And he takes pictures of things that are not on the beaten path, and they are extraordinary. His wife is disabled, and he sends all these photographs back to her. So they're really extraordinary. So if you're on Blue Sky, look him up, Man Solo. Just wonderful, and it's all New Mexico. I wish I could get around like that, so I could see things like that are not standard. But hey, all right, so there's that. And I have always been somebody who cared about the environment. I mean, I wrote some god-awful poem when I was 15 about things like that. And I remember when there was a billboard that was out when I was young. I don't know if I was in high school yet or not, but it was a picture of a Native American chief with the feather bonnet and everything, with a tear in his eye over litter. And it really struck me, because I thought, right, it's true, we just throw garbage all over the place and pay no attention to how just make a mess out of everything. And because we make all this stuff that, and it's nice that we can make stuff, but well, there's another thing too. I mean, this whole thing of tariffs in China and trade war with China. And I assume that you heard that I guess it was the CEOs of places like Walmart and Target and stuff like that, these big box stores, they import an incredible amount of stuff from China and Vietnam and places like that. And they told him if he kept it up like this, their shelves would be empty in like 2 weeks. So, gee whiz, he backed off of his trade war. So anyway, we'll see what goes on there. So anyway, so beauty. So, and we could see the beauty in each other, which is sometimes hard to do, because you really have to dig deep sometimes, and particularly if it's somebody you don't like, or you don't get along with, or yeah, which is at this point is kind of half the country, which seems to me kind of sad that it goes like that, but it does. So that's an interesting thing, beauty. But like I say, the first thing that comes to mind is nature. But after that, beauty in all things. And if people believe in some kind of higher power, whatever they want to call it. They also believe that that higher power created this planet, all the other planets, the universe, the galaxies, all that kind of stuff. And those things are something you can be in awe of, that you can, because they are staggering. One of the places you can find, if I don't know if you still can, because the NASA people put out these photographs that come out from the latest telescope that was put out, which is really powerful. And some of the stuff, the pictures they take are amazing. I mean, recently there was an article about how they had found some elements that showed them that there was some kind of life there. And we're talking about a really long way away. So, just I find the whole universe beautiful, just incredible. And so there are many messages there. Okay, so that's this guy. That's Magnolia. And let's see what else we got. All right, I'm taking here. We've got Witch Hazel. Witch Hazel is give quarter. Give quarter, if I remember correctly, is kind of a military term. Witch Hazel. There. That's the spring blossoms. And to give quarter means that if you are, I'm pretty sure this is true, if you are in some kind of conflict with people and you give them, that you are generous in your terms with them, say you win the conflict, but you are generous towards them. So I think that's what this means, is generosity, essentially. So generosity in these times would mean that we need to be forgiving and generous towards the people with whom we disagree, with whom we figure probably disagree with us. And maybe they're not nice about it or polite, but understand that they have an emotional, most of them do, have an emotional reason for doing the things they do, or feeling the way they feel, or maybe they have a certain amount of information that you have or they don't have or whatever. But to give them the benefit of the doubt and allow for them to have their differences, because otherwise it's just a power struggle. Okay, so what's next? All right, I'm just pulling cards here. Here is, this is such a funny one. This is called a sugar brush, and you'd have to really look it up to see what it's like, but it's in Africa, and it is this big spreading thing. It's like, it's only about 4 feet high, but a full-grown one is like, it spreads out and like 8 feet around and stuff like that. And for some reason or other, it's considered a tree. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. And it survives incredibly hard circumstances. Its thing is Fascination. Again. Fascination. Fascination is that that you are curious, that you are find something interesting enough that you want to investigate, that you want to know more, and that can be anything in any body. That can be curiosity about other people's position, about their thoughts, about their lives, about their hopes and fears, dreams. And I think that's what that means. Okay, so what else? Ooh, Sequoia. Sequoia is heart of the world. And I highly recommend a visit to that park if you ever get a chance. Heart of the world. To me, heart of the world means what makes the whole thing tick. The planet, the life force in it, all of us, everybody's relationship with everything, and everything's relation with everything else. So to me, it's like a whole big cyclical thing that everything works off everything else. And I think that the heart of the world is a love for living, love to be alive. And I think no matter what your circumstances, you pretty much have to be dying of an incurable disease to not want to live. I suppose, yeah, I know there are people who want to commit suicide, particularly young people. And I understand that, because in that time it's a very emotional time, and you're not quite sure how to cope. So, and you think, I can't go on. But there's always a way. There's always someone you can talk to make you feel better. Anyway, that's not what I think we should get into on this point. But like I say, the heart of the world is the life force. And I'm going to let's do a magic number. I've always thought a magic number is 5. I remember thinking one time when I was in university, I thought, I had one of these brilliant thoughts that said, 5 is the number of God. Okay. So I'm going to do another card. All right, so we're here, and what we've got. We've got, something called Palo Verde, which is cooperation. These are just the flowers. Now, I know these things are not the best pictures. I will post pictures of all these things on my community page. Okay, so you got cooperation. Well, that seems like the way out of all the stuff we're going through now is cooperation. And cooperation means that you have to see the other person's view, and you have to give some, take some. But it's not just about pushing and shoving. It's about giving and taking. It's about some of the other things that were in this, which were giving quarter, fascination, cooperation, beauty. So it's about giving. It's about appreciating the other side's point of view. And if you get to that, you will allow for the changes that need to happen to change circumstances. At this moment, we've got this thing happening in Ukraine where, anybody who pays attention to the news is going to know what's going on. That essentially Russia wants to take everything, and to hell with Ukraine. And Ukraine's saying, nothing to talk about here. And the administration is saying, we're not going to bother, or whatever. And personally, my personal opinion is that Mr. Putin has something very big on our guy. Very big. Not just sex tapes or anything, but something very big. And he's holding it over him. So much so that the guy is willing to sink the country, which I think is nuts. But then, if you're in a position of being frightened and you don't want people to know what you're doing or what you've been up to, and you just hide, and you'll do anything to get away from it. But in the meantime, that situation may not last forever. It's always my instinct that it won't last. I mean, we're going through the really hard part of it now, but it will change. And we'll get to the point where someone else is in charge. And we'll see what happens when that happens. Because what's going on now, if it lasts, it's the end of the country as we know it. It's just another stupid dictatorship, which is, I can't see it myself. I can't see the people in this country putting up with that, no matter what side of the fence they're on. I mean, even the guys with all the guns. I mean, I don't think this is what they wanted either. So anyway, so back to the cards coming up with this. What we have to do as a populace is see the beauty in what we have, and not just, not just the freedoms and everything, but this beautiful country. And we need to take care of it. We need to start paying more attention to the environment. We need to go green, and we need to do it fast. And the people who have all these gas and oil companies, remind them that they have grandchildren. Okay, so then you've got give quarter, be generous in your victories. You have fascination, digging into things, understanding what they mean, what they signify. And you have cooperation, which is the way out. And then you have heart of the world. And heart of the world is appreciating what's here, and appreciating each other, and appreciating the life force, and learning to get of the give and take of things. Anyway, so that's I wanted to do that today. I got myself a microphone because my friend Sylvia keeps telling me she can't hear what I'm doing. So I hope that this makes a difference. And the lighting is probably terrible. I will post pictures of these trees that I have pulled cards on, and I might even take a little picture of the 5 of them, put them down. So anyway, so that's it for today, and I'll figure out what to title this later. But I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll release this. Is this Friday? Is it Thursday? No, it's Thursday. So I'll release it tonight, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and the weekend. And where I am, it's windier than hell. So, but that's what happens in New Mexico. Anyway, so this is LauraJthe.Treetalker. Please like and subscribe if you've gotten this far in the video, which apparently, according to the analytics, about 95% of the people don't. It's like they're gone in 30 seconds, and I wonder, why did you stop in the first place? But I'm going to keep plugging along. So I hope everybody is happy people. And if you're not, I hope you get happy. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.